I think we're at the point where we kind of have to play it. I think the rest of these points need to be for like recoup or some weird shit. We'd consider taking these. 20% damage taken recoup as mana. I don't know if I like the recoup as mana. Ironically thinking about these nodes. Dude, I just want the move speed. 100% mana on Gil is kind of cool. These nodes could be really cool. I literally have to see how valuable mana flasks are in game. I think we path this way and don't take these two mana regen nodes. And then for 3 points, these are like insane value. Like 4 points? I don't know. 3 points? Holy. There's a ton of weird one-off mana regen nodes I could take. I don't know how much you need. I don't know how much you need. 100% 78 increased mana regen rate. That doesn't seem like enough, right? Here's what we're cooking up. It's, you know, the Stormweaver Spark Archmage that pretty much everybody's playing? I want to do that, but as a demon. And you just go faster and have more damage. And like you scale down or get as little HP as possible so you can like sit in really high demon stacks, and you scale bomb. So like you keep your HP low and you scale your life recovery through either just flat regen from gear. I think you can get like 130-ish flat regen from gear. And there are also like some, like, there's a bunch of like damage taken recouped as life, which like if you have a really small life pool, this gets like decent value out of it. Or just taking damage and keeping yourself constantly regening HP. So I'm trying to come up with a tree that like is not focused on percent damage at all, and is just taking int, mana regen stuff, and stuff to make shock good. Because ideally, like, the entire premise is here is that I want to be doing one demon form per map, you know? Maybe that's not realistic, but if I can't get to like 60 plus demon form stacks, then this sucks. But I think 60 demon form stacks is doable. I think the problem right now is there are a couple of variables. One, well, it was the 200 plus before they fixed the way reducing HP worked, because in a recent hotfix they changed it so that you always degen at least 1 HP per stack, and before that hotfix, if you put on Ghost Drive, 2 Ming's Hearts, and took whichever one of these nodes lowers your HP, this one, yeah, 10% reduced max life, so you get 50% reduced life from Ghost Drive, and then another 50% reduced life from this. Then you would take like 1/2, and I think it would round down damage per stack. But I think 200's doable. It's just I think 200's doable while mapping because you can get like a bunch of life on kill shit, and like you can ride a flask. Like if you have a tiny HP pool, a flask is going to carry you through so many stacks, right? Like I think while mapping, you can probably sustain forever just on your life flask. The question is like, in a situation where you're not getting life on kill or like damage recoup, like how many can you sustain? Because my vision is like you go into like a boss fight and you put up demon form and you chill for like 30 seconds just waiting for it to ramp, and then you start fighting the boss. But I'm also trying to think of like what is the best spell to use for this. And maybe I'm too wrapped up in Archmage, but Archmage seems like the most natural thing to do. Like this has to be a mom build because you don't want HP. The more HP you have, the harder it is to maintain demon form. So if you're going mom, you might as well be Archmage. And that kind of makes sense. It's, you know, percentage increases aren't really going to matter in demon form. But I just don't know how hard Archmage is to sustain, like your costs. I don't know how much mana regen you need on the tree. I am kind of operating under the assumption that Spark will be the best spell to use, just because I think Spark has the most clear out of any spell I've seen. Maybe Fireball is better, but I think Lightning's like the smarter choice. Yeah, so if you've got like a 2000% spell damage demon form Spark, if I'm operating under the assumption that I should, like, if this build doesn't have like insane damage with stacked demon form, then it's worthless and we're just scrapping the character. So I'm kind of assuming that like, okay, if you're dealing infinite damage, what is the best way to deliver the damage to enemies? And it like has to be Spark, right? And then I think for single target you do a cast on shock like lightning conduit deal. It's funny because I was actually like independently cooking this the other day, and then it seemed like I started seeing like a bunch of videos of people doing cast on shock lightning conduit, and I was like, well, great minds think alike. But I think you don't go crit, because I think crit is just bad in this game. Every tree I've seen with crit, you spend so many fucking points on crit. So I just think crit is not good. When you can just build Mind Over Matter instead, an Archmage, and anoint this. I think you anoint the lucky damage. And the lucky damage is like 24% more damage for Spark. I think, if I remember correctly. 24%. Jesus, I can't tell. 24% more damage anoint is like cracked. I think we're at the point where we have to test shit in game though. Like, I don't know how important skill effect duration is for Spark. Don't know if these chaining nodes work on Spark. I don't know how much shock chance you need. I don't know how much mana regen you need. Like, there are things I can dump. Like, I don't know if I can really afford to take... This is like a lot of kind of travel for... Like, I don't know how important prod speed is. We're at the limits of where theoretical build making can really take us right now. Yeah. The other reason I wanted to be out here... Yeah, the 1-point jewel socket's good. The problem is in SSF, jewel sockets kind of suck. But I think I'm going to be migrating trade. Or not migrate. I think I'm going to be starting over in trade soon. It's just... SSF is kind of like... SSF feels like SSF when SSF came out in PoE 1. It's like the tools in-game don't exist to support the SSF experience. And like... SSF was such a meme for a long time because it was just like masochism for no reason, whereas in modern PoE, I almost feel like SSF is the better game mode. It's like, you can do everything you want in SSF, it's just you against the game. Whereas in PoE 2, it doesn't really feel... It feels like if you aren't playing trade, you're kind of in a gimped version of the game. But I'm also next to these nodes for the life on kill. I think right now what I need is recoup. And I'm like kind of close to these. I could take like 2 of these recoup nodes, but we're at the limits of science can get us. Like, what am I considering right now? I think this jewel point's high value if you have a good jewel. I think these nodes are high value. I would probably just drop these pen nodes to make up for them. These nodes are good. Shock magnitude's good. Yeah, these nodes back here are insane. I should be taking these, but want to leave a buffer. I think these are probably some of the best nodes you can take. I think all roads lead to coming down here and taking these. I think I probably need a little bit more mana regen. I just don't know where I want to get it from right now. These nodes are good, but I really don't want that reduced life regen rate. There are a bunch of little one-pointers I can take all over the place. Like, if these nodes are good, I could drop the attribute ones, but I think 5 int is slightly better than... I think 2 travel nodes is better than 3, and 2 regen nodes and NES, but maybe not. I can stat too. Okay, what I really want is this node. I want this node more than anything in the tree right now, but I can't get to it. This is like one of the best nodes on the whole tree, and like only Monk is allowed to take it. Because getting here, if you aren't a monk, is so fucking cursed. I can't take these because they don't help my build. This node is great. I would take this node. This node, very not good. 3 life on kill. I can't take 2 nodes with 3 life on kill. That's... God, I just want this node so bad. I'm trying to think of a way to rationalize like the freeze buildup. I mean, I guess just taking raw int isn't that bad. But 3 points of raw int? Oh my god. Is there mana on kill anywhere? I think it's this node, right? 2% mana on kill. This is kind of a killer node, but I don't want to take a dead node to get to it. These nodes are insane too. Yeah, I think the logical thing to do is I'm gonna drop some damage. Not really taking that much damage. Like, all the damage nodes I have are either pen nodes or they're like also shock nodes. Like maybe these? 2 cast speed nodes, and then these are kind of bad, huh? We don't take those. These 2 cast speed nodes could just be these cast speed nodes, right? I don't know. I want to make this... I feel compelled to test this because I think this is the only build that has like a prayer of standing up to Deadeye. Because the more I think about it, the more I think like any build that isn't Deadeye can't possibly be the best build in the game, right? Like, how do you stand up to Deadeye? How do you stand up to Tailwind alone? Like, how do you stand up to the movement speed side of the tree? The only reason we're thinking about Witch is because Demon Form's dash is like a no cooldown blink, right? That's the only reason I'm even thinking about Demon Form at the end of the day. It's not because of the stacking shit, it's just because I want to go fast. And if Demon Form doesn't work, then the only other build in the game that could like possibly be fast is Deadeye. And everybody, I feel like Deadeye's solved right now, at least. I think the only thing that is unsolved about Deadeye is like a grenade Deadeye build, which I think probably has potential for like bossing, but I don't think anything can beat Lightning Arrow for speed. But that's it. Oh, hit Sanctum chest? I thought that was the chest from Arbiter. I probably misunderstood though. I like saw back-to-back clips of like the that chest dropping, but yeah, the -4 second CD chest. I mean, yeah, I guess I assume you're right. I assume it does come from, yeah, Charlotte Sekimas. For some reason I thought this was the Arbiter 4 chest. I think I just saw 2 back-to-back clips of a chest dropping from Arbiter 4, which, now that I think about it, the Arbiter chest is the 4 socket chest, but for some reason I like mentally linked those 2 things together, and I thought Arbiter 4 dropped a chest specifically. On difficulty 4. But is no cooldown blink really that good? I mean, it's good at going fast, but is it good at like... It's good at letting you walk fast, but is it good at letting you deal damage fast? You know what I mean? Like, I need to see somebody using the build and like making it go. This kind of has everything I'm looking for on the Demon Form build though, I guess. But Demon Form just like has blink basically. The recoup, man, I'm honestly looking at the recoup more than I'm looking at the skill cooldown shit. But you could probably do some wacky hourglass shit with -4 seconds on cooldown. Yeah, I saw that clip. Like, you could take this line out and this would already be a sick chest. Yeah, I'm thinking the problem with this build is amount of points. I mean, I guess that's not fair. There's a lot of stuff that isn't important. You drop, I don't know how good this energy shit is or if it's even useful. How good these proj speed nodes are either. I don't know. I'm getting a hankering to play trade though. Every day I've been thinking about how I could spend like 1 exalt and just like buy a weapon that would carry me into maps on any character, and I'm like, oops. Yeah, I think they're too good. I mean, it's 24% more energy and then 12.5% more energy. Like, They're just too good. And I don't understand the point of exposure. I don't get it. I don't get why people like Stormweaver as much as they do, to be honest. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's that good. Like, honestly, I think this node's like alright. So I mean, everybody takes these two nodes, but like, we care about all damage contributing to shock chance. I mean, I guess if you're playing like a cold spell who wants shock. I don't know why shock duration matters as a stat. So I mean, this is like a 20% more damage node, right? Pretty good. It's okay. Arcane Surge. Okay, Arcane Surge is like easy enough to get though, I feel like. I mean, I don't know, I think Stormweaver's good, I just don't think it's like, oh my god, good. Everybody takes the exposure though, but like, does exposure not suck? What am I missing? Like, there is no way to scale exposure high enough that you can like take res negative on monsters that like have res. And I'm assuming that all of the bosses have lots of res. Maybe what I'm missing is knowing their actual in-game res. Yeah, this guy has 75 res. There's no fucking way you were exposing for 75 res, right? It's impossible. There's not enough scaling in the game to expose for 75 res. Alternatively, you can get 75 pen, like, easily. It costs like 8 passive points to get 75 pen. Which, I mean, yeah, it's 8 passive points, but you spend just as many passive points on exposure scaling, right? Like, I don't understand that part of Sorceress. Because I wouldn't take this because I would still spec into pen. I don't think I'd ever do that. The one use case for exposure is like if you're like a multi-element setup, I think, because it is point prohibitive to spec into multiple resistance pens on the tree, whereas it's like fairly cheap to expose multiple elements. So I could see that, but I would still take the chill or the ES recoup node instead, I think. I 1, 2, 3. Man, I think Shaper of Winter is insane, but I don't see how you work it in. Well, I would honestly consider dropping Force of Will, but I think the problem I'm gonna run into is I think not having Arcane Surge is gonna brick this build. And I don't know how to change that. Because most of the Mind Over Matter players, I mean, well, all of them really, are Stormweavers, and they've got Arcane Surge for 20% more mana regenerate, and then they're getting, like, what is a good Stormweaver? Like, a good Stormweaver has, like, 4,000-ish mana, which is 266% increased effect of Arcane Surge. What the fuck? Why is that so good? times 0.2. So they're getting 73% more mana regen than my character will. Almost double the mana regen. I think this is what is going to make the build not work. I think I won't be able to sustain the mana costs or the damage I'm taking, because I have no way to proc or use Arcane Surge. Like, I could get the on crit stuff, but 10% chance on crit, and then I think there's another node out here. Yeah, I could get 20% chance on crit, but I'm gonna have base crit chance, so once every 50 casts I proc it. Like, well, see how bad it is. Oops.
By the first ones, you're alive. I'm glad to see them now. I would appreciate it if you could. Reach, clear, fell. Find.
Does anyone else hate that right click doesn't apply shit?
Again. Oh, I'm going to like it here.
Oh. Is this the same? Dude, I do not like her voice. Is it the same voice actor? God, this is the first time I'm playing ranged so far, and is definitely makes me instantly hate melee. I keep missing.
This oozes darkness.
Dude,
I
need to put auto equip shit on, I think. Yeah, but the aiming is weird. This dude, I hate just. Why are the tooltips in this game so bad? What does this do? Do I have to use it to be able to go? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the wand aiming, but it feels like slippery or something, I don't know. This damage is like... Oh, how many of these guys can I have? 8. Dude, I'm like PoE 1 brained, where I think that once they've started their animation, they're not gonna like keep tracking me. Do I have my gold for my other character? I don't. Can you transfer gold from other characters? Dude. I actually hate projectile mobs in this game. I don't know what the glow means. Why is it glowing? Like, I assume because it's a corpse, like I can raise it, but why is it indicating to me that it can be raised if I don't have a skill that is raising? Gold is shared? Because I'm in Standard League.